very special fly past featuring the RAF Red Arrows, a symbol of our long-lasting partnership in both wartime and peace, as well as a commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the RCAF. We had hoped that we would have had included Tango in the RCAF. Sir Sam Hughes. The three-man, one-aircraft corps virtually disintegrated upon its arrival in England and saw no service whatsoever. A trickle of Canadian aviators were recruited directly or transferred from service in the Canadian Expeditionary Force into either England's Royal Flying Corps or the Royal Naval Air Service. With the implementation in January of 1917 of a large-scale Canada-based flight training scheme, appropriately named the RFC Canada, the trickle became a flood. By the end of the war, approximately 20,000 Canadians had flown as part of a British Empire flying service, and about 1,500 died during their service. Canadian flyers established a record second to none, with individuals such as William Billy Bishop and William Billy Barker being among the top-scoring Allied aces of the war. Between 1919 and 1924, Canada wrestled with creating a policy to govern the field of aviation, which few citizens and even fewer politicians understood. The Canadian Air Force was re-established as a flying militia, using wartime flyers and surplus British aircraft. In 1923, the Air Board joined with the Department of Militia and Defense and the Department of the National Service to form the Department of National Defense. On April 1, 1924, the Air Service was renamed the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Royal signification having been approved by King George V in 1923. 1939, Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King agreed to support a major air training scheme located throughout the Commonwealth, but with its largest component in Canada. Signed on December 17, 1939, the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan, or BCATP, resulted in a rapid expansion of the RCAF as aviation schools were built throughout the country. This airport, folks, was actually built as part of the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. Of the more than 131,000 airmen trained in Canada, almost 73,000 were Canadian. The breadth and scope of the program called U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt to describe Canada as the aerodrome of democracy. Serve alongside other air forces of like-minded nations as part of our country's commitments to NATO and NORAD. Through thick and thin, the Royal Canadian Air Force has provided protection of Canada's sovereignty, combat support in various conflicts, search and rescue services to this country's citizens, as well as humanitarian and disaster relief. Memorable aircraft used by the RCAF include the Chipmunk, the Harvard, the CF-101 Voodoo, the CF-104 Starfighter, the CF-5 Freedom Fighter, the Argus, the Aurora, the Sea King, the Labrador, the Buffalo. You saw the CF-18 Hornet, you saw the Tudor, fly with the Snowbirds, the Globemaster III, and so much more. And as the RCAF flies into the future, aircraft like the F-35, the Poseidon, the Cormorant, the Kingfisher, and others will serve as platforms to allow the RCAF to carry on their mission. Folks, if you look off to your right, you see the red arrows turning in. A very special salute to the partnership that Canada has had through the decades with the United Kingdom, and to celebrate the centennial of the Royal Canadian Air Force, we are calling this flight past the Commonwealth Pass. It reminds us of a fledgling RCAF as Canada answered the call to serve alongside England during World War I. But it is also a salute to those who served and continue to serve this distinguished institution, and symbolizes our continued partnership with the United Kingdom today. From the right, the Commonwealth Pass featuring the RAF Red Arrows. Are you ready for the full show from the Red Arrows? Well, it is my pleasure now to introduce the narrator for the RAF Red Arrows. He has the voice of an angel. Please welcome Graham Muscat.
Good afternoon, Airshow London. Thank you, Ken. I am Squadron Leader Graham Muscat. I am Red 10, the team supervisor with the Royal Air Force Aerobatics team. That's right, it's the Red Arrows. What a great fly path to start our demonstration. Shame we couldn't do it with Tango, but hopefully we'll get that all done tomorrow. I have the honour of talking you through the display today. I'll give you some more information about the team, Exercise Maple Hawk, which is why we're here in Canada. But more importantly, I'll also get your eyes into the correct piece of sky, so you do not miss a single second of the action in our display today. It's great to be back here in Canada. We were last here in 2019. This is the first time the team have ever displayed at Airshow London, and it's an absolute honour and a pleasure. Not only that, as Ken said earlier, we are celebrating a number of anniversaries. 2024 is the 60th display season, 60th anniversary of the Red Arrows, featuring our new 9 aerobatic aircraft, our colourful fly past and our engaging ground events to celebrate that 60 years. We have 3 shows we can do, full, rolling or flat, and that's based on cloud base and or airspace. However, no cloud, no weather and no airspace to affect. So I assume Red 1 will make the decision to start full. When we arrive, we'll arrive in our world-famous Diamond 9 formation, trailing our world-famous red, white and blue. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's make sure you give them a huge round of applause, a huge cheer, honk those horns as they arrive, and I'll transfer that welcome through the radio into the team. Airshow London, please give them a huge welcome. Give them a round of applause. It's 2024. All out, boys, all about. And in celebration and commemoration to all those that took part and paid the ultimate sacrifice, this is Spitfire. Red 1. They're almost robotic and monotone in his delivery, but that's because we fly our formation by ear rather than by eye. And what this means is that the pilots on the outside of the formation are putting their input in just a little bit earlier than those on the inside, and this allows the whole formation to move as one, rather than a ripple effect down the wing. And now see those wings of the Signet, left forward, to red 6 and 7, split towards the rear. Red 1 continues to bring them around the left. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready for the powerful Phoenix. Selection process. We take the applicants down to the final 9, who then come join a week with us in our winter training exercise with a formal interview, formal flying test. We whittle them down to the final 3 who become the new pilots at the end of each season for the next upcoming season. From the right, the team climb up once again for Chevron Roll.
Fall out of my bag. Is that mine? Oh.
Yeah. Personnel, 120 down on the engineers, administrators, the constellations, the operations staff, and they are known as the Blues, due to the colour of their flying coverall. And there are a number of Blues here today, all around the show site and at our PR tent. Make sure you pop along, say hello, find out about their roles in the Red Arrows, and of course their wider roles in the Royal Air Force. Coming in from the left-hand side, front left, you'll see Reds 8 and 9 now in trail on the main formation. For one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre the Red Arrows fly, get your cameras ready once again for the Tornado! The board call is made by Red 9 as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the rest of the formation. But watch the colour change as Red 1 brings the team down the line. Outside the back of the aeroplane, and that makes the smoke billow a lot more fuller. And therefore, in certain manoeuvres in the show, we use the air brake out to enhance those manoeuvres during our display. You now see Reds 8 and 9 join up as we come to the end of our first half of our demonstration. And as we continue around to the left and come in from our right hand side, this will be your last opportunity to capture that iconic image of the Red Arrows in the Diamond 9 formation. As we go into the second half, we'll see Manuva not playing since 2003. 5-4 split. He was one of the early members of the Red Arrows, only team leader to lead the team for 4 consecutive years. The team for the 70s, 2-9 ship, and support our trademark Diamond 9. Hannah from the left, Edith from the right, 12 squadron based at RAF Coventry in Lincolnshire. Each pair will now dive down to only 100 feet above the airfield. They've got a closing speed of over 1,200 kilometres an hour. They're looking to pass each other only wingtip to wingtip by 30 metres. That's only 100 feet for the Hannah Pass. now. This is Spears the Heart. Red 8 is Bolton, former Harris Pirates, former Tokyo Pirates, and Portside trying to come over the horn. And of course, you're right, let's today's heart, the wonderful relationship with Ian Yates and Carbon Shore. For many years in the past, and hopefully for many years in the future. Once again, keep your eyes on Red 6 and 7 dogs. It's 12 kilometres over the speed. Now we're inside out at the very last minute. At the right time in the display, you simply don't run out. And you now see red 2245 moved up alongside red 1, looking 90 degrees along their shoulder line, coming up to 3G, extremely hard formations to maintain. The smoke comes on to finish off smoking the coils of the Serpent in Tango. 6, 7, 8, 9, that's Hannah. You might just be able to see their nose lights twinkling in the distance.
Hannah, both on cut. 6 rolling in.
6 rolling in.
Easing up.
And 6 easing up, and 6 now pushes negative G. Up to 3. Negative G as he conducts an inverted barrel roll. Red 6 working extremely hard. There's already empty pushing to his One individual will be at the display is Circus 10 today. That is AS1 Emily Muir, and she's filmed display for safety and deeply pink purposes. Look to your left, Enid running in the white smoke in trail. 2 and 3, roll, go. 2 and 3, roll to the outside. And as I mentioned earlier, 2024 celebrates 60 display seasons from the Red Arrows, our 60th anniversary. You're looking for Red 8 and 9, the blue from Red 8, the red from Red 9. Get your cameras ready for the anniversary break as Red 8 and 9 draw a wonderful 60 in the sky to celebrate 60 display seasons by the Red Arrows. Underlying the 60, once again they pull up to approximately 1,000 to 1,500 feet. They'll turn hard back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Once again with that 1,200 kilometers an hour closing speed, only at 100 feet above the airfield, looking to pass the wing tip by 100 feet for the colourful and dynamic synchro double roll. You're looking for Enid 8 and 9 with a smoke on for the Vixen break. Air London, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for the 2024 Royal Air Force